Uh, Hello, everyone. It is April 4th, 2021, and I am in a secluded location in a beautiful part of America, finishing my, hopefully, the first volume of the Bhagavatam in a hotel. So, here we go, Srimad-Bhagavatam. Today we're doing 1:10:26. 1:10:26. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, 1:10:26. This is the departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. Aho alang shlagyatamang yadokulam. Aho alang punyatamam madhorvanam. Jadesha pungsang rishabhak shiyakpati sajanmana chankramanena chanchati. So, this is a verse spoken by the residents of Sinapur, praising the residents of Dwarka with very beautiful prayers. Very beautiful prayers. So it begins, Aho Alam. Two verses actually. The first two lines begin Aho Alam. And Aho in Sanskrit is an exclamation, like the way we might say, oh. So Aho and Alam, it's very interesting. Alam means enough. If you know any like Latin languages, Spanish, Portuguese, and so on, they say basta. Basta con eso, like enough of that. So alang means that something is enough, sufficient. And so aho alam means, oh, like this says it all. This is all you need to know. Or this, to say this is to say everything, to give the essence. So aho alam, shlagyatamang yadokulam. Aho alam, the family, the Yadu family, Yadokulam, is shlagyatamam, most praiseworthy. Of all the families that are praised or should be praised, this is the most praiseworthy. The Yadu family, the Yadu community. Aho alam shlagyatamam Yadokulam. And then Aho alam, again, oh, this is to say this is to say it all. Punyatamang madhur vanam, the vanam, the forest, madhur of Madhu, and that's, of course, a reference to the forest of Krishna, Vrindavanam. Aho alang punyatamang, it is most pious, it is most holy, this forest of Madhu, this Vrindavan area, because Jadesha Pungsang Rishabhak Shyakpati Swajanmana Chankramanena Chanchati. Very, of course, as you hopefully you can pick up just from hearing it. It's very poetic. And so that means that in the third line, Pungsang Rishabhak, the leader of all people, the leader of all men, himself, Shriyakpati, Lord of Sri, the goddess of fortune, Swajanmana, by his birth, there, Chankramanena, by walking all about, chanchati, the verb anchati, means to move about. So Krishna is moving about there, and he's actually marking the land with his footprint. So this is just one more thing. Glorification of Vrindavan. So here, the residents of Hastinapur, of course, are themselves very exalted, but they're glorifying the residents of Vrindavan. They're glorifying the land of Vrindavan and the Yadu family, because Krishna is leaving. So as Krishna is leaving them and they're beginning to feel separation from Krishna, they're glorifying those who have his company or who had his intimate association. So since his birth, just by his birth there, Krishna is moving all about, walking in that land, and therefore that forest, or that forested area of the Vrindavan area, Vrindavana, the Vrinda forest, is most holy, and the Yadu family is most praiseworthy. So that's verse 26. And then another expression, aho, but oh, indeed. These are emotional verses. These are great devotees. Expressing their devotional emotions. Aho, but the swar jasashas tidaskari. Tidaskari means to remove, to put aside. So Prabhupada translates it, that which defeats. Aho, but the kushastali. Kushastali, like the land of Kusha, the land of this auspicious long grass, which is used in preparing the seats for great Vedic fire sacrifices. So the land is called Kushastali, Dwarka. That land is defeating the glories of material heaven. So Dwarka defeats even the glories of material heaven. Aho batra, oh indeed, swar jashasas, tidaskari, kushastali, punya jashaskari bhuva. And in defeating the glories of heaven, that land of Dwarka, of Kushastali, punya jasha, jasha of course means fame or glory, is establishing, kari, is establishing the fame, the glory, the pious fame of the earth. So Krishna's presence in this world, his visit to our planet was so glorious, excuse me a second, that by his presence there, Dwarka defeated, of course they're speaking in the present tense about something that's going on now, defeats the glories of heaven and establishes the glories of the earth. Pashanti nityang, and why? Because pashanti nityang jadanugraheshitang smitavalokam swapating smajat praja. Because Krishna, by his presence there, it is said, the residents, pashanti nityang, they always see swapating, their Lord. They always see their Lord, smajat praja, the inhabitants of that place, in yat praja, the people who live there always see their own Lord, Krishna, anugrahi shitam smitavalokam, with his smiling glances, which indicate his mercy upon them. So here we are, stuck in this Kali Yuga, and we can just imagine the good fortune of these great souls who would see Krishna every day. Every day they were actually seeing Krishna, and Krishna would smile upon them, just like when Prabhupada was here. If Prabhupada actually smiled upon you, it was considered a great mercy. Prabhupada to look at you, to give you attention, to smile upon you. And we knew when that happened, when Prabhupada was thus smiling at us, that we were receiving his mercy. So that's the idea here. That's the idea that the mercy of the smile of a great soul, the merciful smile of a great soul, glancing upon you, looking upon you. When Prabhupada looked upon us in that way, we knew that he was blessing us, because if he was pleased with us, Krishna was pleased with us. So actually the word Ishita can mean animated or excited or discharged. And so this particular compound, anugrahishitam, smitavalokam, avaloka means a glance, smita means smiling. So Krishna's smiling glance was animated by, it was in a sense moved by, or caused by his mercy. So when he would smile upon the residents there, glancing upon them, his mercy, his kindness, his desire to make them happy was animating, was motivating that smile. So that's what's stated here. So these are the fortunate residents of Kushastali or Dwarka. And then perhaps one more verse. Nunam brata snana huta dineshwara samarchito hyasya grahita pani vi pibanti ja sakya dharamritam muhur brajastriya sammumuhur jarashaya. So Nunam, indeed, the Lord Ishwara was worshipped, samarchito, was fully worshipped. Archana means worship. So samarchita was, Prabhupada says, perfectly worshipped. The Lord was perfectly worshipped by his grihitapanis, by those whose hand he had taken. Even today in English, in many languages, to marry is to take somebody's hand. And so here we have in Sanskrit, grihitapani, which means to take his hand. So those who took his hand, or whose hand he took in marriage, they must have perfectly worshiped the Lord by vrata, vows, snana, ritual bathing, huta, by sacrifices, adina, etc. So by all these religious processes, those whose hand the Lord took in marriage must have perfectly worshipped him. That's literally what it says. Nunam brata stanu tadineshwara samarchito yasya grihita pani bi pibanti ja, and those women, pibanti, they drink, saki, O friend. The speaker here is speaking to a friend. Dharamritam muhur. They always are drinking the nectar of his lips. Brajastriyak, the Vrindavan girls, Brajastriyak, Sammumuhur, they simply fainted, Jarasaya, simply by the thought or the expectation of such mercy from the Lord. So even the gopis are fainting just to think of the mercy that these queens receive from the Lord. So this, of course, is the perfection, the highest point of romantic love. In this world, there's so much interest in romantic love, but it actually begins with the Lord. It begins with Krishna. And so and yet it's pure. These queens or the gopis, they are pure souls. They are pure souls without material desires, without material lust. This is pure devotion. And of course, because in this world, these symptoms would indicate lust or material attachment, some people may find it difficult to understand, but of course, that literally is their problem. Because here we have these pure souls, these great souls, without lust, without any lust, without any selfish desire, and yet having all these symptoms of very intense romantic love. So, let's see. Let's Virya Shulkena Hritasayam Vare Pramatya Chaitya Pramukhan Shushminaha Pradyumna Sambhamba Sutadayo Para Jas Chahrita Bhoma Vadhe Sahasra Shaha. So Prabhupada translates that the children of these ladies are Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, etc. Ladies like Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambavati were forcibly taken away by him from their Swayamvara ceremonies after he defeated many powerful kings headed by Shishupala. And other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Bhaumasura and thousands of his Bhaumasura's assistants. All of these ladies are glorious. So Virya Shulka. Shulka means the price you pay. So by the price of heroism. In other words, if one wants to be a hero in this world, you have to pay the price. And if you want the benefits of heroes, because heroes can marry beautiful women, great heroes, and so then you have to pay the price of heroism, which Krishna did as he took away these ladies in the Swayamvara. Javirya Shulkena Hrita Swayamvare Pramatya, harassing. Prabhupada translates Pramatya, harassing. Chaitya Pramukhan Hisusminaha. These powerful warriors headed by Chaitya, who was Shishupala, Krishna harassing them, defeating them, Pradyumna Sambhamba Sutadayo Para. And then, as a result of these marriages, Krishna's marriage, sons were born, such as Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, and so on. Jaschahrita Bhumavade Sahasra Shaha. And these women, these wives, Krishna carried them away by the thousands when he killed Bhaumasura. So that's what this verse says. So here, just as we are reading the Bhagavatam so that we can remember Krishna and remember his glorious pastimes, so these residents of Hastinapur, these great devotees, they're doing the same thing. These are eternal devotional practices that we are doing now, and these great devotees did 5,000 years ago. To remember Krishna, to remember all his amazing pastimes. So, stop a little early. I've been traveling, which is a little tiring, so maybe today I'll stop a little bit early. And if there are any questions, let's see, what do? I go back to the StreamYard page, and then I click on comments. Not so difficult. Let's see, or questions. Let's see if there are any questions. So no questions, I believe. There are no questions. So thank you all very much for attending, and hope you're back next week. Hare Krishna.